Hey, what's going on, guys? Alex here, back again with your weekly fishing report. Let's start off with what's going on here locally in the Annapolis area. And there's going to be plenty of stuff going on around the bay here, anywhere from, Loft Point all the way down to Poplar Island. We are in full fall pattern right now, meaning there's birds working out there. You're going to find fish suspended around the edges, fish around structure, and of course your topwater around the shorelines. Now it's becoming more of a thing to be throwing plugs around shorelines throughout most of the day now that it's cooling down. Of course, look for areas where there's a little bit of a current break, like Thomas Point Lighthouse, the rock piles on the Bay Bridge, Mountain Point in the Magathie, 7-foot knoll, Loft Point, the Loft Point where the rocks are there, and of course any kind of shoreline in the rivers and the tributaries where you're going to find some of those current breaks. You can still catch some fish. Remember, all that bait's flowing out, and this is the best time of the year to do it. So you can start off doing that early in the morning, and it's going to keep going in through, mid-morning, maybe even midday, depending on your cloudy, your cloud coverage, really. If it's a little cloudy, then it's going to be even better. Of course, trolling is a thing now where most of the fish are spread out, trolling umbrellas, spoons behind planers, and slowing down a little more now to your 2.5, 3.5 knots. Pulling some of these 6-inch baits on the umbrellas, that's the size of the main bait you want to be running right now, will produce a lot of fish if you're trolling through some of these channel edges. And you can still do this inside the rivers. There's been guys doing it inside the Severn River, the Patapsco, around the docks there on the Key Bridge area, and of course right at the mouth of the Patapsco. But right up front here, you can do it. This is pretty much a general area thing where you can go out and catch fish trolling. Live lining is still a thing. If you're going out there and live lining around the bridge pilings, whether you're going to the Key Bridge or the Bay Bridge, you can still find plenty of fish around those pilings. Use some spot. Now, they're still catching spot out there. We still have spot here in the store, so that's a great option for you guys if you want to do some live bait fishing. You guys up north, eeling around Poles Island is still pretty productive. So plenty of eels here. You can drift them, throw them on the bottom. You will catch some fish up there doing that. Switching over to white perch. There's still some white perch around shorelines. They're kind of pulling off now a little more to some of the deeper water structures, but they're still kind of spread out. So throwing some perch pounders around shoreline structure can still produce some fish, but I will throw some sabikis around a little bit deeper water, 10 foot or more, around some of that structure like oyster bars, pilings, etc. If you're on the dock that's pretty deep, then you might have a little more chance to get a few more perch up close for the next few weeks. Other than that, spot, like we mentioned before, are going to be kind of fading out as we get some colder temperatures. But it seems like next week we actually get a little bit of a warmer spell coming through the area. So they might stick around for a little bit longer. So as the bluefish too. So you're going to find plenty of bluefish anywhere from, Poplar to Loft Point. The more south you go, the little bit bigger they get, but they're still around. They're going to obviously be kind of fading off too, but they're still around, especially south of the Bay Bridge. For you guys fishing from the shoreline here, surf fishing, Sandy Point has been pretty productive in the evenings, using peeler crabs and cut, spot, or LY, catching pretty decent sized fish. Not that many numbers, but some good keeper size, up to 30 inches I've heard. So get out there and try that out. Other than that, pretty far south, we're still catching a lot of blues. There's still a few other species around, like those little puppy drum around the area down there, and even up here. So don't be surprised if you get a few of those. Other than that, crabbing. Remember, we're in the last push of crabbing. You can still get a few. Just work yourself a little bit deeper, like 10 plus foot of water, and you might get a few nice heavy crabs. For you guys, a reminder, obviously, as we're getting closer to this fall weather, there's going to be a little more freshwater stuff going on. Snakehead bite will pick up a little more here in the month of October. There's going to be some trout stocking later in the fall, so keep an eye out for that. And there's plenty of surf fishing whenever the wind lays off. It's been a little tough for you guys out of Chesapeake, but there should be some drum moving through those beaches now as they're migrating south. Other than that, that's it for your fishing report, guys. We'll see you back next week, and have a good one.